diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Check. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to start in your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy. Listen, I didn't know if I was gonna do this today or do this on Monday. But since Rocky wanted me to do the Kofi Afterglow, Memorial and play all his shows, I wouldn't have that much time. So I was like, Sunday I'm gonna be watching my boys. Everybody gonna be watching NFL. So I needed to get this off my chest. I don't know if y'all know much about me, but when stuff sits on me, I gotta get it off. Now, as you've seen the headline, it's two people, right? And not really even the female. She's a Howard alum, so she's a homer by nature, right? So she's a homer by nature. It is what it is. Wow. It's the other individual. Let me. Did I send this to myself so you guys can know who I'm talking about? Let me make sure, because I like my graphics. I like my graphics. Let me go ahead and load that up. And we gonna get to the nitty gritty, because one thing I can't stand is people who talk that, but then when the receipts start getting rolled out, they go missing. They go missing. I'm not a fan of that, right? Because I gotta stand on, I say most of my stuff on wax, so it is what it is. So let me get this going. Hold on. Here we go. Let me move this over here so y'all can. Yeah, there we go. I gotta get it nice and big so y'all can read it. Right? No homo. We talking about this guy. Now, he gonna have to step up and take this pot. Gerald Huggins. Okay. Now he calls himself a scout. Now, it's a lot of, listen, that's like me calling myself Steph Curry, but I don't make threes. It's a lot of misevaluations going on in here. And if you get paid to scout and you missing the evaluation, that's a little sketchy for me. That's real sketchy to me. You know what I'm saying? You go, hey, I'm a scout. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I'm Curry. I can shoot like Curry, but I don't make nothing. Calling yourself a scout, you missing a lot of evaluations. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't have the receipts. I gotta have the receipts. It wouldn't be me if I didn't have the receipts. Because if you really are watching the game, you understood there was a talent gap in this game. It was by a wide margin. FAMU, and this is going to be my theme for the game. FAMU was so good. And that's when y'all say, how good were they? Let's try it again. FAMU was so good. You at home, you say, how good were they? They put themselves in the fire, right? Got too hot. Hey, let me pull myself out the fire. Said, you know what? We ain't done yet. Put themselves back in the fire. And then at the last minute, before it got burnt, pull themselves out the fire. That's what they did. That's what they did. Okay, that's legit. So let me play you some of the receipts of self-proclaimed scout of draft HBCU players. Now, how you gonna draft HBCU players? You ain't evaluating them right. That's how can anybody draft if the scout ain't evaluating them right? You get what I'm saying? Okay, you understand. So let's go into the receipts, shall we? I'm gonna call this segment "When Scouting Goes Wrong." That sounds so good. That sounds so good. That sounds so. When scouting goes wrong, let's run the tape.
Oh,
You know what? Let me open the call lines, because I don't want to disparage y'all from not calling in and talking yo mess. You know what I'm saying?
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
Because a lot of people just say, Scotty, you in here talking. You don't know what you're talking about. You just like to run your mouth. And I'm like, if he getting paid to scout, I gotta get paid to scout. I'm telling you, I'm like a sniper from 400 yards. I don't miss. But we'll continue. And this is the receipts. You can go pull this up. You can go to Erica's Twitter, ER Lee. You know what I'm saying? You'll see her pictures and stuff like that. And go, scroll down, click on the recording. This is straight from Twitter Spaces. Let's continue.
Well, I just want to put it out there. As you know, I picked Howard to win it after I went to their spring ball practice, and I was sold, man. I came back and just told y'all, like, yeah, the team look different. They're carrying themselves different. They walking and talking like they deserve to be here. So it's just beautiful to see how the season went. They're battle tested, and it's. I'm not surprised that they're the underdog going into the game, but in my opinion, based on film, they shouldn't be.
I want you to hear that. I don't want y'all to miss that. He says, based on film, they shouldn't be. Now, I don't know what film he watching. I don't know if his film is blurry, if it's 420, if he got one of them old library, you know, when you had to you had to look at the newspaper reel to I don't know how he's watching the film. But he said, I just want y'all to hear what he's saying. You got to hear the words to understand how wrong he was. You got to understand the in depth of how wrong somebody is. When you dive into something so deep, right? I'll give you a better scenario. If your teacher gave you a book, right? If your teacher gave you a book and she said, go home and read it and write me a report, and you read the book 3 times, and you still miss the main character, it's a problem. You get what I'm saying? It's a problem. You feel me? That's what this is. The guy got the book, the film, he read it multiple times, watched the film multiple times, and still came back around with the wrong synopsis of who the main character was. Ain't that something wrong with that? I think there's something wrong with that. Let's continue.
But that's just me. But I'd love to hear everybody else's opinion on it, because I've been watching Howard thoroughly all year.
See, you missed it again. I've been watching Howard thoroughly. Okay, now thoroughly depends on who you're speaking to, right? Because your thoroughly might not mean my Let me give you a great example, right? When I was growing up, my mom would say, hey, Breon, wash the dishes, right? Wash the dishes. And her envision of washing the dishes thoroughly is me cleaning the countertops. My assumption of washing the dishes is simply washing the dishes. You get what I'm saying? So our thoroughlies are different. And clearly his is as well. So, but I just want y'all to hear the nuances. Okay, I'm gonna back it up a little bit, but I want y'all to hear the nuances of how wrong this is.
Based on film, they shouldn't be. But that's just me. But I'd love to hear everybody else's opinion on it, because I've been watching Howard thoroughly all year, especially for my boy Haneem Dankwa.
Who got his ass whooped in this game. Continue.
Got him up in the Shrine Bowl. I was proud when I heard that they were gonna give him an invite, man, because we've been pushing for him for the longest. So it's a blessing. So it's been a good year for Howard. Been a good couple years for Howard. So it's good to see it all coming to fruition, and hopefully they can do what they got to do and bring it on home to the MEAC next week.
Run game will match up against FAMU's defensive line.
Okay, the question is, how will FAMU's run defense match up with Howard's offensive line? Let's continue. Now, who you also hear in this is Dave, who is absolutely wrong as well. But we will continue.
I'll be honest. I think they can match up pretty well because of how well your offensive line is. And I've been asking myself since this matchup has been confirmed if FAMU has ran into an offensive line like that, and I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that FAMU has ran into an offensive line like this. Now, I brought up South Florida. I was crazy. And Dwayne, you know I'm not going to let you live because you said, I remember you called in and was like, Scotty, this team is so undisciplined. We're not going to win a championship playing like this and doing blah, 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 blah. And they won it. And I told you they would win it. I said there's nobody better than FAMU. Let's continue on with my breakdown of this horrible scouting.
They have not. They have not faced the offensive line like Howard yet, in my personal opinion, just from what I watched. Interior wise, man, they got a guy that can, surprisingly, he's one of my favorite players to scout, Gentle Hunt. They have a guy in the middle that plays center named Deshaun Ingram, 6'4", 310, that can neutralize Gentle Hunt. Because if you can't control Gentle Hunt.
How did that go for him? You see, I don't know if you guys know what neutralize means. Neutralize means stops you from doing what you wanted to do. How did that go for them? Okay, let's just continue.
That's going to really be a game breaker. But end of the day, it boils down to not only the offensive line, but what have we seen from Howard the past month of the season, right?
Y'all see, hey, y'all, when you hear the, that's me. I'm like, oh no, I can't sit in the stands no more. I gotta come in. See, y'all missed it. You missed it. Y'all were too busy yapping. Watch how your boy come up in there.
Offensive line, but what have we seen from Howard the past month of the season, right?
That's me. I'm in there now.
Their running backs are breaking a bunch of tackles, and I mean a bunch. The contact balance from Jared Hunter, Eden James, those guys right there, their lateral movement, the ability to be able to maneuver in tight spaces, they make dudes on the second and third level miss a lot. So
Yeah.
can FAMU rally and tackle? Are they going to be able to tackle these guys one-on-one?
That is not true. This is not true. No, sir. This is a straight up lie. I was not on NCCU's tip all year. I'm the one that said their D-line was ass. I'm the one that said I don't think they're a championship team. I'm the only person that put FAMU for a week at the #1 spot over NCCU. Sit your dumb ass down. That was not me. Not even by a long shot. So I'm confused about where you're getting this from. Michael Sesanon? What are you talking about? I'm the only person that put FAMU at #1 at one point in time this whole week. Sit your ass down and shut up. Let's continue.
And from what I've seen, this is what I mean battle tested. Morgan State I never saw Morgan State's defense struggle with tackling so much. They struggle to tackle these guys. So can FAMU do it? That's going to be major. So we'll see.
Eden James, he has this like first step and then he cuts a bit that it just feels like
Backs are big and they turn those legs and they move forward. And FAMU's offensive line, this is probably the best offensive line I think Willie Simmons had since he's been at FAMU. That's a good offensive line up there, right there. So they're able to do both, but the offense is going to boil down to who. And it depends on what who we're going to see. So
yeah, in my opinion, I think it's going to boil down to the trenches.
Let me show you what somebody with some common sense sound like. Antoine Bethea came in, very short little snippet, gave you the real, then he went about his way.
For Howard on both sides of the ball, as you mentioned, offensively, you got to lean on the run game. I wouldn't necessarily put it in the quarterback's hands, but lean onto the run game and just, let that open up the play action and the plays down the field. And defensively, the defensive line has to play big. As you mentioned, FAMU running backs, Howard defensive line, they have to stop the run and then obviously get pressure on the quarterback just with the 4-down linemen. If they can do that, they'll have a good shot.
How do you compare quarterback play between Musa and Williams?
This is where it all comes down right here. This is where I almost lost my godforsaken mind, right? This is where it comes down to. The question is, How do you compare quarterbacks? Listen to Dave and his wrongness.
Why you laughing?
Don't laugh.
I think both of those quarterbacks have similar. Like I think there's pockets of the fan base that aren't a fan of that particular quarterback, but I think Quentin might be more consistent than Musa is.
Let me help you out, 18-year-old. Right? You can say whatever you want about the score. If you watch the game wasn't even close. If you can watch, you can see whatever. If you want to base the game off the score, have at it. But if you look at the box score, if you watch this game, it wasn't even close. It wasn't. Once FAMU started doing what FAMU does, the game wasn't even close. It shouldn't have been close.
And I think that's gonna be
negative.
Here we go.
Scotty, you watch.
Let me back it up a little bit.
Don't laugh.
I think both of those quarterbacks have similar. Like I think there's pockets of the fan base that aren't a fan of that particular quarterback, but I think Quentin might be more consistent than Musa is. And I think that's gonna be
negative.
Scotty, you watch film with blind shades sometime, brother.
Did you hear what the scout said? Scotty, you watch film with blind shades on. Now, somebody make that make sense, because I can bring up Quentin Williams' stat line. Somebody said, Scotty, you watch film with blind shades on. Okay.
Particular quarterback, but I think Quentin might be more consistent than Musa is. And I think that's gonna be
negative.
Scotty, you watch film with blind shades sometime, brother. Yo.
I mean, Musa's got 7 INTs versus Williams 4 this year.
But it's not that.
And 2 came from Harvard.
It's not even the INTs. It's the balls that you just say, what? Like, he has such a beautiful throwing motion, and it's amazing that the ball doesn't get there a lot of the time. And
you talk about Musa or Williams?
Musa.
Okay.
Y'all listen. You know I'm a ride with Q Will until the wheels fall off. Like,
and he fell off. Oh my God! Did them wheels fall off? Keep riding with him, Scout. Keep riding with him, Scout. What are we talking about? Quentin Williams is more consistent than Musa? What football have you been watching?
For whatever reason.
You know he stresses me out.
Man,
I know he does. I get it. But
I want y'all, listen. I'm not the scout. Remember, I'm not a scout. I'm just a YouTube guy. I'm not media. I'm just a YouTube guy. What I want y'all to do, I want y'all to hear exactly what I said, and I want y'all to think about what happened today in the game.
But the thing about Q Will, if he even attempted to use his legs more, he would be so much more dynamic.
So I agree. 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you on that aspect. I think that's what takes him over Musa is he could be more dynamic, but he's not. There's a lot of throws. And I mean, quarterbacks have those problems, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen Q Will in the Hampton game. He throws it directly at the DB, squatting on the route the whole time. And I'm like, yo, what are we doing? Like, Q Will has those, like, what are you doing type throws. If you go back to the Swack and Miak challenge, he throws it straight to the Alabama State defender. I'm like, bro, there's nobody else over there but an Alabama State defender. I mean, the only thing about Q Will I've said for the last 2 years is, if you get him consistent, if you make it easy for him, and you say, hey, we're going here, he'll kill you. He'll dice you up. But if you make him have to go through his progressions consistently, or have to go to the backside of something, he's not that guy. And Musa's the same way as well. Like, if it's there, if Willie draws it up the right way, he will dice you up, right? The tight end, because where Musa's really deadly is in between the hashes, right? Those across the middle, easy read right behind, and Musa throws with great anticipation. It's probably one of his best assets. But when he gets on the move, that's his worst attribute. Like I never seen so many balls die when you move up in the pocket. I'm like, how does that even work?
I will say it's interesting for Q Will. went back and looked at his stats for the last 3 or 4 years.
Now, I'm no psychic, but that sounds like the game. That sounds like the whole game to me. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like exactly how the game went. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see it the same. 38-59 coming to you.
I think that would be a great move, really. I think it would be a great look for Prime.
38-59 coming to you.
Help Shador out because.
All right, too easy. All right, let's go.
Years, and he ran a lot more in his early seasons. I mean, this year I think he maybe had 100 yards rushing, but the most significant rush I thought was that quarterback that touchdown run in the Morgan game, which the whole crowd was shocked that he pulled it in and ran. And I would like to see him take more of those opportunities. He doesn't have to be overzealous with it, but if he sees that hole open up, I would like to see him tuck it in, pull it down, and go get those easy yards in a way that I don't necessarily think I saw as much this year.
G, let me ask you a question. When we're talking about consistency of Q Will,
I want you to hear how this non-scout, not media person kind of already knew this was coming. I just want you to listen to the logic and intellect of the non-media, non-scout guy, but just listen to this.
I think you also have to dial in the consistency of the play caller. And G, let me ask you a question. When we're talking about consistency of Q Will, I think you also have to dial in the consistency of the play caller. And who calls, in my opinion, who fits their quarterback better, I think is Willie Simmons. I think Willie Simmons has a better understanding of who his quarterback is. I'm not saying the Howard play caller doesn't, but I do think that Willie has a better understanding of Musa when it comes to how he dials it up and how he makes him comfortable in the game. Now, do I think he throws the ball a little bit too much sometimes? Absolutely. But I still think when you have to have it, I'm always going to go with Willie and Musa together than any other play caller.
Dog! Call me Negro Damas. Take the scout off of him and put it on my profile. I'm literally telling you the game in the space. I'm telling you the game in the space. Literally. What are we talking about? But I'm the one watching film with blind shades? You're the scout. You get paid to do this, and I'm running laps around you. Laps. Swimming backwards. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? What are we talking about at this point? Oh my gosh.
I don't know about that.
That's tough because
you don't. Of course you don't, Erica. Of course you don't. You the homer. You the homie. You don't know. You just like Howard. Go Bison. How much film have you watched, Erica?
as I think we gotta understand, man. How many offensive coordinators Q Will had in his career?
Like 3, at
About
least.
3, 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At
So
least,
granted, you know what I mean. It's just that means something. An excuse for him, because I don't want to make any excuses, but I just think. Oh, hold on. Can y'all hear me? My bad.
yeah.
Someone tried to call me. My bad. But yeah, if you just look at Q. Listen, to keep it simple with Q. Will, he's a rhythm. He's a rhythm guy. Rhythm. See that
Yep.
first read.
Yes.
You going in and out, Gerald?
G, you good?
G, you
I
straight?
wonder if someone called. That's all right. He'll come back.
He gotta use the focus button, man. He can't be out here getting calls and these type of
Man, I'm
things.
so sorry, y'all. Usually I have my phone do not disturb. My whole family keeps saying they mad that they can never get in contact with me, so I took it off for this one day, and this is the wrong day. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it simple just in case someone else goes. end of the day, Q Will's a rhythm guy, but if they can't get the ball they can't run the ball consistently, it's going to be a struggle because you don't really want to put Q Will in a situation where you got to throw the ball 40, 50.
Now, this is the only time he was actually right. It's the only time he was actually right.
If you're getting over 25 attempts, when you start creeping over 25 for Q Will, that means that's not the game plan you want. You want to really lean on that running game. You have to. So that's why I say, and I think, honestly, these are two very similar quarterbacks. I look like
They are. They are.
like when they're good, they're really good. But when they have those, then it's like really bad. So it's really no in between with those guys. It just depends on what Q Will or what Jerry Musa we gonna see. We just don't know. But one has been a winner before. I mean, one has won state championship, won a MEAC title.
See, this is the thing that I have a problem with. This is the thing I have a problem with, right? My issue that I have a problem with what G's saying is like, he's like, oh, both quarterbacks are really the similar, but one's been a winner and one hasn't. You're talking about Alabama winning a state championship. What the fuck does that have to do with college football? You know how many kids that won state championships have never won anything in college? You know how many times that kids who have won state championship have won something in college? Like, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. He's been a winner. He stunk it up. Mr. Winner, he won a state championship. He stunk it up. And the film tells you he has the capability of stinking it up. What are we talking about? Come on, man.
Depending on how anybody wants to look at it, he won it 2 straight years. So, hey, he's been a winner. So I might lean on the guy that's been there, done that.
And you can't lean on a guy who's only lost 2 games. I'm confused.
I guess my question is, how do you rate competition that Musa's played against versus what Q Will's played against this season?
If you put Q Will in the same situation that Musa's been in the last year, she's gonna lose the same game.
They play similar opponents, and I think Q Will play better against USF.
So make that make sense. So make this make sense. You're comparing the competition. You say Q Will plays better. But then when they go head to head, Q Will stinks it up. One of these is not like the other. If you watch you can't tell me you thoroughly watch Howard. You can't tell me you thoroughly watch film, and you can't thoroughly make the assumption that Musa is a better quarterback than Quinn Williams. It's not hard to see that. And he is literally a component of the run game. The difference, let me explain to you, right? I'm not a scout, but let me school y'all on how it looks. Quinn Williams is a byproduct of the run. And what I mean by the byproduct of the run, this is what Q Will is. You are so hyper-focused on stopping Howard's run that you're put man-to-man across the board, right? So you're dealing in situations which is an easy read. They're loading the box with 8 or 9 guys. Everything else is man across the board or cover 3 or whatever they want to do. And it's easy reads for Q Williams because the game starts and ends with the running game. Musa is the opposite. He is the starter of that engine. So if he never gets started, the engine don't go. No matter how you want to slice it and dice it of how you feel about Musa, if he doesn't get going, the car never goes. Because Willie's, as Rocky says, Willie's propriety is to throw the ball. His proclivity is to want to throw the ball. So how can I want to throw the ball if my quarterback isn't my engine starter? Your quarterback is your fire starter. Now you got all the logs in the world. That's all the skill players that FAMU has. They can put all the logs on the world on the fire. But if the fire don't start, it don't matter. That's the difference. And there's not a film in the world that you can watch and you can tell me that Q Will is a fire starter. With all that talent on the team, you cannot tell me Quinn Williams is the fire starter. Go back and watch film.
Are you talking about South Florida?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking, Northwestern, Eastern
I
Michigan.
mean, yeah, I mean, it's not comparable at all. But I mean, I mean, me personally, I always look at the team that had a tougher road to be a little more chiseled and be more battle tested. Those usually are the ones that seem to win the Celebration Bowl. I mean, people could look past it all they want, but the teams that had the tougher schedule tend to win the Celebration Bowl when it comes to the MEAC and the SWAC.
That's because those are the teams that have won. But that's not the case. That's not the case. And this, like, you have, at the end of the day, you have to isolate stuff in its like box, right? You can't use historical data for this individual moment, right? Because everybody comes into the game differently. Different players, different philosophy, different scheme, different everything. So you have to take it as what it is. If you take FAMU's team as what it is, they are, I've said this from Jump Street. I said it's FAMU, and this how I know this Sessions with the, oh my God, what is he got the Steve Harvey shape up. The Stephion Sesamons, whatever his name is, this how I know he doesn't watch the show. Because I've said from day one, it's FAMU and everybody else. I've said that from Jump Street. So there's no tip of NCCU that I've ever been on because I never thought they were better than FAMU. And anybody who's watched my show for the year knows I've said the only team that can beat FAMU is FAMU. It's that simple. Period. I always felt they were the best team in black college football because they were the deepest and the most talented. Continue.
Which coaching staff do you think has the advantage if it comes down to a nail biter?
I need y'all to listen to this. Please, I need y'all to listen to this.
Down to a nail biter.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I
Willie's going
I
Willie,
would. Well, see,
right?
I can't say that about Willie. He hasn't
Almost
done
did.
that yet, so I can't do that. I can't do the Willie's on Willie thing. I will say Howard's DC has shocked me as of late. He has called a hell of a year. I'm gonna give it to him. He's called a hell of a defense this year. Like towards the back half, he's really done a better. Now the South Carolina State game, I don't know why you don't put 9 in the box and just force Corey Fields to throw, but that's outside of that, he's called it pretty well. And honestly, his DBs have played lights out all year. That's probably their best position group outside of the running back. So
Yeah.
I will say,
Yeah.
run. I mean.
So let me get this straight. This is what I'm. Listen, guys. I keep trying to. This is what I've said from day one. I don't, dog. I said, this is what I said. Number one, I said, outside of Davius Richard, what quarterback has Howard gone against in the MEAC? Don't worry, I'll wait. Bridges, I see you. I'm coming to you in a little bit. I'm gonna say, don't worry, I'll wait. They don't, other than Davius Richards, they didn't see another reasonable quarterback in all the MEAC play. In none of it did they go against a legit, other than FAMU. What wide receiver core scares you in the MEAC? None of them. Delaware State is not good. NCCU got Manny Smith, but he's so finicky, you don't know. Devin, Manny, whatever his name is. Norfolk State don't got no receivers. Morgan State don't got no receivers. So what are you really going? Oh, they got the best DBs. Against who, Air? They're not playing legit. They're not playing top-level talent. They're not. FAMU has seen better wide receivers in the SWAC than they've seen in the MEAC. Keyshawn Johnson, Shamar Savage, August Petrie, Cassius. I can go on and on. Brian Juice Jenkins, they've seen better wide receivers than the Bamas at Howard have seen all year. Even at Grambling, they didn't play Grambling this year. So what are we talking about? Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know, E. Y'all might have to help me with this. I don't really know what coaching staff. I do like FAMU's defensive coordinator as well. I guess you want to give him the slight edge because I guess you want to go statistics, but I don't really.
I mean, they've won,
Yeah,
but there wasn't many games maybe save for that Hampton game that I like when we were down in the last little bit that I didn't think we could make a go of it. Like that South Carolina State game, I thought when we were down in that fourth quarter, I thought we were going to win. Like I've just seen it a couple of times this season where they found a way to march down the field and make it happen. So I don't know. I will say that it's going to be interesting seeing how the teams respond to the magnitude of the environment. You know, if it's a nail biter and it's 50,000 people in the Mercedes Benz and lights are on and the thing is rocking, like that's going to be interesting to see.
But I guess I will just have to, if I had to give it to a staff, I'm gonna give it to FAMU's staff.
Listen to this.
But do I think at this point Howard has better football players? That's my thing. I think
And this is the guy y'all be calling the scout? This is what you call a scout? What are we talking about? Howard has better talented football players? Y'all must have missed that. Let me rewind it. I need y'all to hear that again. That is asinine.
But I guess I will just have to, if I had to give it to a staff, I'm gonna give it to FAMU's staff. But do I think at this point Howard has better football players? That's my thing. I think Howard has a better roster at this point, but I think FAMU has a better staff. If that helps.
Got it.
Howard, dog. Howard has a better roster. The only thing, and let me tell you this, right? I think Howard's running back room is the only part of this team that is legit better than FAMU. Like better, like a slight edge. Everything else is either push or FAMU wins. Quarterback, FAMU. Offensive line, push. D-line, I'm gonna go push. I'm gonna go push on the D-line. Linebackers, FAMU. Wide receivers, FAMU. DB, FAMU. Safety, FAMU. What are we talking about? And this is what y'all be calling scouts? You thoroughly watching film? You can't. It's no way. There's no possible way you can. And you know how I know? It's because the stat line shows it. Go look at the box score. This game was not a competition. Howard had 80 rushing yards, 100 passing yards. They didn't even break over 200 yards. And they're the more talented team. Somebody gonna make this make sense to me. And then, you know what he gonna do? He gonna come on HBCU. This is on Twitter Spaces, by the way. He gonna come on HBCU Nightly. He gonna be like, oh, I missed it, and I could have sworn, and I thought I saw, and I knew this, and Howard didn't do this, and Howard didn't do that, and if I knew Howard was gonna do this, I would have picked that. Nah, homie. Nah, none of that. None of that. Because Howard never, dude, I'm telling you, I will give Howard the 16 points. If Musa just hits on the stuff that Willie draws up, this game is 40-16, and it's not even close. There's not a play on Howard's side of the ball offensively that you can tell me, man, if they would have hit on that, that's a touchdown. Not one. Not one. Not one play could you say on offense for Howard to say, damn, if Q Will hits that, that's a touchdown. If Eden James breaks this, not one. So they're not even, they were never on FAMU's level. FAMU, man, Bridge is coming to you.
Stay off the weed.
Dog.
Bruh. One quarterback is a game manager. You put him in the game and you pray to God, he hope he don't throw an interception. He hope he don't fumble. You just hoping and praying. The other quarterback, you put him in the game and you say, oh yeah, he a game changer. And we may be down by 10, 14, but I know he gonna get one. I don't know when he gonna get it, but he gonna get one. So what kind of eye test are you looking at if you really watching film? Then if you really watching film, the statistics show you who's better. That's just number one. If you really watch the film from, like you said, each position group should show you who's better, who's lacking, who's this and who's that. So that shouldn't have been a hard pick at all. So whatever he is looking at, like I said, he must be looking at video games, Scotty, because I don't know. It's not that hard. Football is supposed to be simple. Football it's just supposed to be simple, but people is making it hard. And it's just then it comes to this, you're making other people confused because people are actually listening to this dude and going off his full word.
Dog, what's so frustrating to me is like, are we watching the same film? See, that's the thing. Like, I'm watching the same games you watching, and at no point did I come up with the surmise. Like, and I always say this: if you and Bridges, please tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't know if you watched the show. I said Eden James is that guy, right? He's that guy. I'll give you that, and I'll bring up my key players. All my key players made key plays.
Clearly.
All my key players, other than Marcus Riley, didn't have a really good game, but all my key players made key plays, right? So my thing is this: when you're watching the same film, it's like, bro, are we watching the same thing? Because I'm not getting that. Now I get, if you like a team or if you don't like a team, you can always kind of like, hey, this goes here, and you can make excuses for somebody to be right. You can make a reason for somebody to be right, and you can make a reason for somebody to be wrong. I do understand that. But if you're just watching pure talent, there's no way you can tell me that Howard is a more talented football than FAMU. You can't tell me that.
If Howard was a more talented football team, they would have beaten the teams they were supposed to beat if there was a more talented football team.
Yeah.
If they're a more talented football team, they would have ran up the score on FAMU and pressed on the gas if there was a more talented football
Absolutely.
team. But obviously, we can tell who is the most talented at the end of the game.
The more talented team up 16-0 doesn't lose that game. I'm sorry. That's just facts. And you can tell the coach didn't have no faith in them because they never took a shot. They never threw the ball over 20 yards over the top. All Willie Simmons was looking like bombs over Baghdad. Okay? Crazy, bro.
It doesn't make any sense how scared. Like I said, when you put him in the game, when you put Williams in the game, you praying and hoping he doesn't throw an interception. You want him to be the best game manager in life that he ever been in his life. That's what you want him to do. Musa, you just be like, throw it. You may get a pick, you may not, but I know you're gonna get it there. That's his mantra.
Absolutely, man. Hey, appreciate the call, Bridges.
All right, please.
N.O. Joe, coming to you. What's up, N.O.?
Did I just hear that right? Or was I hearing something?
Tell me what you hear first. Tell me what you heard.
I thought I heard somebody say Howard is talented in FAMU. I thought I heard that.
That's what that Bama said. That's what that Bama said, Joe, that Howard was more talented than FAMU.
All right. If they swap schedules, what do you think FAMU's schedule would be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think
if Howard and FAMU swap schedules, what do you think their schedule would be?
I think they pull out one of those.
Their record would be.
I think they pull out one of those. They beat all the teams Howard beat. They beat. FAMU also beats South Carolina State, but they pull out one of those two games against Eastern Michigan and Northwestern. FAMU wins one of those.
And what about if Howard had FAMU schedule?
They lose.
You think Howard still going to beat it?
No, they lose to Southern. They either lose to Southern or they lose to Alabama State.
All right. Now, that's what you need to do. You need to clip that, and you need to put, somebody look at that, whatever that little skit is, somebody look at this, and play that, because that is ridiculous. That's a scout?
That's what they call him. That's what they say. That's what he says. He's a scout.
Who is a scout for? He must scout for Cleveland, because they've been
It's a publication called Draft HBCU.
He's garbage. He's got to make a statement like that. He's garbage. I wish I was internet savvy, because I would clip that and I would put that everywhere. That's all, man. I can't believe I heard that, man.
No problem, no, Joe. Appreciate the call as always. Let's keep it going.
Anybody else want to chime in? And if people want to come up, please request to come up so we can hear your questions or opinions on which. Hello, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
We got a few people coming up now. Okay, Bison for a live.
With one has been quarterback you.
So that could be due to quarterback play. Because
FAMU brings to the table that could really give Howard football some trouble.
I think they're better balanced, right? So what I mean by that is they can hit you in a myriad of ways, right? So like I know for Howard, they're predominantly run to pass. Well, for FAMU, it's like we'll run if we have to and we can pass if we want to. So there's no delineation now. It's all about if Willie Simmons is going to run, if he's going to commit to running the ball. So they can hit you with Terrell Jennings. They can hit you with Nick Dixon, Marcus Riley, Shareed, KJ Burke. They can go into a myriad of ways. Like the one thing I loved about what I saw from Howard was I liked how they used Casey Hawthorne, right? Like he was kind of like that do it all type of Debo Samuel type of player where you can have him in the slot. You can have him on the outside. You can do jet sweeps with him and things like that, as well as the run game with him as well, if you want to put him in the running back position. And I just think that FAMU is just so deep and talented at a lot of their positions offensively that it's just if you stop the run game and put it on Musa, I mean, they have guys that can go get it. And for me, I think that's the difference between FAMU and Howard. I really think if FAMU comes in and says we're gonna stop the run game and put it on Q Will and make them make throws, I think they have a better chance of if instead of Howard saying, yo, we're gonna stop the run and make Musa beat us. I think they have more playmakers on the wide receiver position. That's just my personal opinion. So,
Chris, did you want to say something?
No, my bad. I'm good.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The game plan I've seen defensively from Howard the past few weeks, they're gonna play man and they're gonna rush for, and their DBs don't mind playing man. They'll press you. They'll play off, and those 50-50 balls that Musa was throwing up in the SWAC championship game.
Kenny Gallup will go up and get it.
Yeah.
Kenny Gallup was getting ran by. I want y'all to. Oh my gosh. Listen, man. I want you guys. Listen to me. I need y'all to really listen to me. Don't listen to this foolishness. Listen to me. I want you to close your eyes and think about one pass that Musa threw over 10 yards that was batted down. I want y'all to think about that. That was batted down. Kamari Steffens across the middle caught 2 passes, right? Nick Dixon dropped the one on the one. He caught another one not too long ago, right? Marcus Riley got missed at least 2 times. Musa missed the post to Shareed. What DBs is he talking about? All the DBs were getting ran by. Every time Musa threw the ball over 15 yards, the Bamas was wide open. Marcus Riley running by 3 people. If you remember the one that he missed when he was running this way, the turn this way, it was 3 people behind him. So what is he talking about? But this is the more talented team, though.
That's not going to work. It's not going to work consistently, I'll say. It'll work every now and again. Like every DB is going to get beat because, it's just DBs. It's a struggle to play DB right now. But end of the day, on those 50-50 balls, eventually those DBs will, I think it's like they have it's like 5 of them that could all play man coverage.
Now let's reverse that on the opposite side. How many batted balls? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say this because the Pitt the pick that the one pick, Musa threw 2 picks. I think the one pick I do remember is the one that he threw the screen junk and the DB jumped it. I can't think about the other pick. How did that pick come about? I can't think about that one. But what I'm saying to you is this: if you think about all the other pass plays, you're talking about the one that got the pick on the screen. That was a linebacker. I mean, that was a DB. That wasn't a linebacker. That was a DB that picked the one that put Howard back on top. That was the linebacker. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a DN. That was a DN. The DN was sitting and he dropped. The DN dropped underneath the tight end. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. I don't think it was a linebacker. I thought it was a defensive end. It was either a linebacker or a DN, but yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you. Right? So that one. So, but what I'm saying to you is these all-world defensive backs my man talking about, not one of them was after 10 yards. Not one. Every time Musa had time to throw the ball deep, they were scot-free. Ollie oxen free. Just them and Jesus. And then you see a trail of DBs chasing after Shareed and Marcus Riley. The only time Howard plays defense. Stay with me here. Howard plays defense like Jackson State used to, right? They're only as good as when they can see the ball, right? When they can see ball, go get ball, they're really good. They jump on it, they come down, they tackle, whatever. But when that ball goes over their head, they all ass. I'm not trying to be funny. I really want y'all to think back to the game. Can you think of any pass that Musa threw? Think the reverse pass to Marcus Riley, him and Jesus, the wide receiver pass. I mean the running back wheel route for the touchdown to Kevin Dean, him and Jesus. The 2 he missed to Marcus Riley, him and Jesus. The one he went to Shareed, him in the middle of nobodies. What are we talking about right now? But these are they're going to play man. Oh, they're really talented. They're going to really get. I think Howard's more talented than FAMU. Hey, listen, man. My wife always tells me you got to watch out who calls themselves a prophet. You got to start pulling. You got to start pulling people's card when they call themselves a scout. You got to start pulling cards. Let me see your credentials. Let me see your credentials, scout.
If your 2 safeties and your nickel and your 2 outside guys could play man coverage and really hold it down for about 5 seconds and let the D-line get there, you're going to be good. You're going to cook with gas. So that's what I see. I just don't think you want to lean on Musa trying to throw that ball 40, 50 times. Not versus Howard's DBs. They're playing lights out right now.
What's the definition of lights out? You don't want to put it on Musa, but if you watch the game, if Musa hits on any of his throws, this is a runaway. And I'm talking Kuta Kinte version. I'm talking the roots. I'm talking Usain Bolt runaway. Justin Gatlin runaway. I'm talking runaway. Not even close. Howard's best defense is they stole Musa's glasses. That's the best defense. Howard saw where Musa left his glasses. They stole them before the game, and Musa was out there blind. That's what it was. That was the best defense Howard got. Because it wasn't their DBs. Stop it.
Can't lie to you. And the linebackers, they'll be able to cover the running backs out the backfield, but FAMU doesn't really utilize their running backs out the backfield like that. So now you pretty much.
He wrong about that. listen. Stop listening. Dog, you know how like people be on TikTok and they call themselves like a business guru? Stop listening to these Bamas, man. Stop listening to these Bamas. Listen to what he said.
They're playing lights out right now. I can't lie to you. And the linebackers, they'll be able to cover the running backs out the backfield, but FAMU doesn't really utilize their running backs out the backfield like that.
I'm sorry. You said what? You said what again? FAMU doesn't really use. Oh wow. Oh, that's. So I'm just trying to get understanding because you know, Bama's just be talking. Bama's just be. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it with your chest. What's this play called? What's this? If this ain't a running back out the backfield, what is this called? I'm confused. What is that? That looks like a pass out the backfield with. Okay, I'm sorry. Stop listening to these self-called. Boy, I'm telling y'all gonna get yourselves hemmed up.
Now, you pretty much just say, okay, we got to stop who? I say you stop Marcus Riley because he's the most dynamic player on FAMU's team. That's who you stop. So either they're going to bracket him, which I don't foresee them doing, or they're just going to let Ray Williams and play man to man on him. So I now they could play coverage as well. They like to drop 7 as well, but I just think that if I had a game plan, I would just run man versus FAMU and just rush my 4, and I might send my Mike back or 2. If the running back stays, I might just send him, like, get him antsy. But that's just what I would do if I was Howard.
We're gonna end it right there. I want to also be very clear. I want to be very clear, right? This is the same Bama, right? Because I know, KJ Black's a real good guy, but this is the same Bama that said, I want to listen. I want y'all to listen to what this Bama. This is the same Bama that said Howard's running back room is the best in not FCS, not Group of 5, in all of Power 5 football. He said in all of college football, Howard's running back room is the best in college football. KJ Black, am I lying? KJ Black, if you in here, am I lying? Because Josh asked you that question because I can bring it up. You know what? I can bring it up. You know what? I got receipts. I'm in the receipt mood today. No blue. Let me tell you, I'm telling y'all gotta stop listening to these scouts. I'm telling you what the man said, bro.
With the best of them. So I think his ability to be a fool. $20 players the ball out. And I know you. Howard, I saw Eden James against us. He got. How do you see running back going against that is the story. It's almost without having in there. Wait, Quentin Williams game, football, not the best.
Here we go.
Of the game.
Here we go.
What is, in the words of my brother Gerald Huggins, Gerald says that this is not the best running back room in HBCU football.
Now,
not the best running back room in FCS.
Hold on. Remember, his name is Gerald Huggins. I want to remind you, because I don't want nobody to say Scotty made up anything. I want to remind you what his name is. Gerald Huggins. Okay, everybody. I do want to make sure we understand each other before this foolishness gets said, so you know Scotty ain't lying, right? Because I got receipts for days.
HBCU football, not the best in the words.
Yeah, a chance to do what we think they can do.
Let's go to the other side of the game. What is, in the words of my brother Gerald Huggins, Gerald says that this is not the best running back room in HBCU football, not the best running back room in FCS football. But Gerald says that this is the best running back room in all of college football. Jared Hunter, Eden James, Casey Hawthorne every once in a while, Quentin Williams when he needs to. Then you throw in the other kid, I cannot remember his last name right now.
Ian Willer.
You look at all of these guys and how they all complement each other. They all do something that the other guy in the room can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's down in distance, when it's situational football, it seems like Coach Larry Scott just knows who to put in there when it's time to put those guys in there. Against a Florida A&M front seven, that is without a shadow of a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, they not shabby. Okay? You don't get to be number one overall defense in FCS football without having a solid, strong front seven with depth.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my emphasis, with depth. I've seen in certain scenarios and situations this season, a guy go down, the next guy come in, and it's almost as if nobody even was hurt.
I wanted y'all to understand why I'm telling y'all, don't be listening to Bama's who be self. You can't give yourself a nickname. If anybody has played sports, you don't ever give yourself the nickname. You don't come to the court and say, yo, call me Scotty P. Call me Scotty, Shooter Scotty. You don't do that. You let other people give you the nickname. This Bama done walked up into spaces and he done self-promoted himself. I'm a scout. Who told you that? I just like to call myself that. Yep. I just like to call myself that. That's just what I like to call myself on the weekends. That's just like what I call myself on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? My mama called me G. I call myself Scout. I don't know, man. It just came to me. 5936 coming to you.
Yeah, Scotty.
What's up, Coach Pep?
Yeah, this is Coach Pep. Howard, Florida A&M had more speed. They had more athletic ability and more skill, and that's translated into a better team. And Florida A&M could have took off the first half and came in there and played the second half and got to win because they had too much team speed. And furthermore, when the pro day come, they're gonna have about 20 teams at Florida A&M. They might have
two teams at Howard for pro day. That tell you right then how much athletes they are. Thanks, Scotty.
No problem, Coach Pep. You got to hear what Coach Pep just said again. I need you to hear what he said. They could have took off the whole first half, which they did. They took off the whole first half and the third and scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Them Bama scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hold on, I got a parent. Yeah, my bad. My little one, her iPad died. She don't play that. She don't play that. She'll mess up everybody's day. Her iPad died. She don't play that. So had to get that right. So what I'm saying is, it's just that simple, man. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I wasn't trying to keep y'all long. At the end of the day, it's this. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this. Be very mindful of who you allow to call themselves a scout. Just watch. Just sit back and watch. Right? Just watch. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Gotta watch. You feel me? People out here just saying, hey, I'm a scout. I'm looking for a scout. Me. Just like if I was telling y'all on TikTok, watch out for them business guru. Watch out for them get rich quick schemes. Watch out for them guys who tell you how to get the loans. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is apply, get a $50,000 business credit, all that. 3573 coming to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, hey Scott, it's just Josh from Alabama, man. Just want to say, congratulations, fan, you win swag. Shoot, they needed that. But basically, like you said, man, I watched the game, watch y'all watching the game. I applaud Howard. They had a nice game plan that first half. They had a physicality. The offensive line, the defensive line, the linebackers, they hang. They showed they being FAMU trenches. But like we all said, you cannot be FAMU when it came to athleticism, speed, everything. I feel like if Willie would open that playbook up the first half, that game would have been over with before halftime.
Absolutely.
And it's like you said, Quinn Williams, we saw it all season. That boy cannot throw no more than 20 yards. He can't. And you see what happened when he tried. He can't. He a short passing quarterback. That's all he was. And I'm surprised he didn't run the ball in certain games. And Musa was the reason why they didn't really seem like they were struggling first half. Musa, like you said, he overthrew some passes. He didn't know what to get rid of the ball. But when he got comfortable and started letting go, you saw what the difference is. But, hey, man, I'm just, like I said, I applaud Howard for making that far, but we knew FAMU was going that game. But it should have been that close. But we see what happens when, when that athleticism start working. That's what happens.
Absolutely,
appreciate
man.
The call, man.
Hey, no, appreciate you. And let me say this. I see Ansel Brown. Nobody's talking about Josh. I ain't say nothing about Josh. Josh knows his stuff. Josh is very, 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 very up on it with football. Like I take Josh very seriously when he talks about football. So nobody's talking about Josh. I'm talking about Gerald Huggins. That's what I ain't talking about Josh. Josh, yeah. I'm definitely not talking about Josh. Josh, I listen to Josh. If Josh tell me something, I listen to Josh. But Gerald Huggins, yeah. I'm gonna have to double check that. If Gerald told me that it was raining outside, I might have to go check for myself. If Gerald told me that if I went to McDonald's, I get a free burger, I'm bringing my wallet. Can't trust it. Can't trust it. Hey, listen, I'm about to get up out of here. Listen, until next time, watch out for them scouts. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.